My name is Richard Kinney. I'm the head web guy here at Your Web Guys, and I am here to talk to you today about SEO basics in this Webmaster Minute. So, SEO is not some nefarious organization, and it isn't some sort of coding language, but rather it is something that can make or break channels here on YouTube, kill websites, and put the best marketers in the industry to shame. Because what we are talking about today is search engine optimization. It produces the results that are auto-filled by Google. So any result that is recommended by Google itself is produced by SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And one of the biggest problems about SEO is if you ever do any search and any kind of research into it, you'll find that you'll get deep in the geek really, really quick. So things like metadata and backlinks and PageRank and all the kind of geek speak that you don't want to deal with is what you're going to find if you do any kind of research on it. I figured that it's probably better to start with the basics. So that's what we're going to talk about. So the basics of SEO really, well, even before we talk about search engines, let's talk about why we're online, right? So the reason why we all have these devices in our pockets, right? Why we have these cell phones and tablets and everything else in the world that's connected to the internet is because we want content. We want to read words, look at pictures, watch video, and buy stuff, okay? Problem is, Google, the #1 website in the world, and the first place that we go when we want content, they produce absolutely zero. Think about it. If you go to google.com, what do you get? A search box. There's no content there. So that's important to remember because it's a symbiotic relationship. Google needs to list your website. They want to list your website. Trick is to convince them that your website is better than the however many thousands of other have similar key phrases. And that comes under the broad strokes heading of SEO or search engine optimization. So the important thing to remember here is the biggest chunk of the algorithm isn't keywords or PageRank or metadata or any of those things. It's content. So if you have a really well-optimized website with all the metadata and the backlinks and the PageRank like I've been talking about, it doesn't matter if you aren't adding content on a regular basis. So that's the important thing. You have to add content. If you have a good content, what we call cadence, in other words, content being added on a regular basis, then that's the biggest chunk of the algorithm. So you have to make sure that content is being added on a regular basis. We like to say monthly is kind of the bare minimum, right? If you have new information being added to your website on a monthly basis, then Google will basically respect that. Now, the more the merrier, obviously. So, sites like Huffington Post or even Breitbart, those sites have content that they add on a daily basis, multiple times a day basis. But there's a point of diminishing returns. It's not going to do you any good to have content added to the detriment of running your business. So a good kind of butter zone that we suggest to our clients is to have new content added to your website on a weekly basis. So what do I mean by content? Well, there's 4 kind of broad headings, actually 5, but 4 are the primary. Things about your industry. So new techniques, new ways of doing business, new laws that are in the industry, stuff like that. Things about your specific practice. So new offerings that you have, new services that you provide, new employees that you have. The next thing is about the specific people in your practice. So Amy's having a baby, or Jim just got married, or we just hired Samantha. Those are good content posts, right? They're especially if you talk about what those people are doing for your business. And then the 4th one is what I like to call grandma's cookie recipes. So they really don't do a whole lot for your SEO. In other words, people aren't going to be searching for grandma's cookie recipes that you want to do business with, but they help people like, know, and trust you. And that's the key. People do business with people, not businesses, not nameless, faceless corporations. So if you have information out there about how it's your 28th wedding anniversary, or like I said, grandma's cookie recipe, or your grandkids just did something cool, that's not going to help you with SEO, but it will help you build that like, know, and trust with prospective clients. Now, the fifth one is really the best one. And that is, for lack of a better term, we call them case studies. So a case study is what you do on a regular basis. It's how you help your clients. So for instance, client XYZ had this problem and we were able to solve it by doing ABC. Okay. That's a case study. And the reason why it's so effective is because of the way people search. Okay. Back in the Yellow Pages days before the internet, right? If you had a leaky faucet, let's say, then you would go to the Yellow Pages and you'd look up plumbers, right? Because plumbers are who's going to fix your leaky faucet. And that's why you've got, companies like AAA Auger and it's alphabetical. That's the way Yellow Pages worked. When the internet came along and search engines came along, we stopped searching for plumbers when we had a leaky faucet. And instead, now we search for leaky faucet. Think about that. We search for our pain. We search for a solution to our pain points. And that's crucial to understand, because if you're able to put out content on a regular basis talking about the ways you were able to solve your client's pain, Google's going to put them together, people that have those same pain points, with you. So think about this. Let's say that I have a leaky faucet and you are a plumbing company. And when I search for leaky faucet, you have talked about in the past about a client that you had that had a leaky faucet, their pain. And you were able to resolve their pain by fixing their leaky faucet, by adding a new gasket or a new faucet or whatever it is you did to solve their problem. So now you have a page on your website that talks about not only how your leaky faucet resolution occurred, but that you had a client with a leaky faucet. That's golden. Keep in mind that search engines list web pages, not websites. So every page on your website is another chance for a top 10 search result. So if you're talking about the ways that you're solving your client's pain, you will get search engine traffic. Whether or not it's optimized, whether or not you have the right key phrases, whether or not you have the right metadata or backlinks or any of that stuff, Google is going to say, this company has solved this problem that this person is searching for, and they're close by. All search is local now. It's really important to remember this stuff, right? That's the core. That's the key to search engine optimization. All the other stuff that you've read is all cart before the horse kind of stuff, because if you don't have good content talking about the stuff, those 4 or 5 things that I've talked about, Google's not going to send you traffic no matter how well optimized your website is. Google is kind of a fickle mistress, right? She's very much a what have you done for me lately kind of gal. So if you're not adding new content talking about the stuff that you've done, Google's going to lose interest. So add new content on a regular basis. Once you've done that, then you can start thinking about optimizing those pages. Then you can start thinking about backlinks and metadata and page rank and all that other stuff. But until you have content, none of the rest of the stuff matters. So start thinking about your ways that you've solved your clients' problems. Think about your case studies. And if you want more information about what I've talked about, feel free to hit us up. We are Your Web Guys. You can hit us at yourwebguys.net. And in the meantime, if you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe. And remember, for Webmasters Minute, we produce these once a week, every week on Monday. And if you have any questions or things about the internet or online marketing that you want to have answered, feel free to contact us at 1-800 or 877-WebGuy1. And of course, support at yourwebguys.net is always available for you. All right. This has been Your Web Guys Webmaster Minute for this week. And if you have any questions, please let us know down in the comments below. And I look forward to hearing from you again. And until then, this has been Richard Kinney, the head web guy here at Your Web Guys. And I look forward to hearing from your information in the future.